In this video, I will walk you through the process of completing this assignment called His Speech, Her Speech, Your Speech. This is your opportunity to write your own speech and use all of the information that you will learn in this unit and all of the example text that we will do in class. So as always, make sure you include your name in the upper left-hand corner. And here we go. As you go through, I would like you to remember to always think back to the goal of what we are trying to accomplish. The goal is to create a speech that demonstrates your ability to refine and develop your claims and ideas, convince others of your view, and use good reasoning and support. So if you follow the model of this particular assignment that I have laid out for you, you will be very successful, I believe, in meeting this goal. On day one, you must decide the purpose of your speech. So here, you can see that I noted under the categories that I wanted to do my speech on this top one. But first, let's read through the options. You could write a speech about that is purpose is to speak hope to a group of people who are sad. You can also write a speech that purpose is to promote change by inspiring people to be part of the change. It also can be to promote yourself. For any of those reasons, you could write a speech. I decided, again, that I wanted to do one that would be speaking hope to someone who is sad. I decided to do one that would be in my family. Specifically, I wrote down exactly what I wanted to do under this part right here. I wrote to my brother Josiah in Colombia. Once you've gone through all of this, done your circling, and written it in, you got the green light. It's time to go on. You can see here at the bottom that you will receive credit for this part and every other part of this assignment. If you get this done on time and you circle and you write in at least one thing, one idea for your speech, you will get 4 points. So it's easy points. Don't miss it. Day 2. You must come to class with a draft of your speech introduction, which is below, completed. You may fill in the rubric or write out in some other form. If it is written in another place, this could be on a sheet of paper in your notes, or it could be in another document. Just make sure it is turned into the teacher for credit. So give it to me or Miss Bertrand. You must use a rhetoric device in each one and name it. You will receive a grade 1 through 4, depending on the level of your completion of this assignment. So again, you get these points simply by completing it. It does not have to be perfect because this is just practice, but make sure that you fill out every part of the rubric. I've given you a word bank of rhetoric devices that you can look up at and use. You have logos, pathos, ethos, alliteration, rhetorical question, assonance, and personification. If you know of another, you may use it. Here you can see in the introduction, you have over here a sentence starter. This would also be read as part of your speech. I would say, dear, and I wrote it to my brother. So I say, Josiah, my brother who I love and respect, I miss you very much. You see, I not only included the name of who I'm writing it to, but I also included a little greeting. The rhetoric device I used here is pathos. So this is me trying to get my brother to feel something, to want to hear what I say, because he remembers how much I love him and care about him. It's quite effective. Then, I wanted to use something here. You could use a quote from some famous person. You could use a fact, like some statistic would work just fine, something that's going to take and capture people's attention. You can also just share a story, which is what I decided to do. I wrote a little story in the context of my brother and when he left for Colombia. Today, I was just remembering the day I finally realized I had to say goodbye to you. The day you grew up, the day you left home, the day that you left with big dreams, the day I saw the brave man you had become. Here you can see I have the words, the day, the day, the day. Because of this, we call this parallelism, where you have the same sentence structure over and over again. Next, in this speech, I will tell you, this is what I wanted to say in my speech, so I want to put it all together in an explanation of what's going to be in the speech. What I think of you, I will tell you all the reasons I know for this season from a lady who sees into your life. So this is an example of assonance because it has the same ending sound in eason, for a reason, season, and season to your life. Then, say, I tell you this because I acknowledge the admirable attributes of the young man I call brother. Here, it's an example of alliteration because I have A in accomplish, A in admirable, and A in attributes. So it's an example of alliteration. Since I completed all the parts, hopefully I'd get 4. Moving down to day 3, here's the instructions. You must come to class with a draft of your speech body below completed. You may fill in the rubric or write out in some other form. Again, if it is written in another place, make sure it is turned into the teacher for credit. Remember to include at least 3 rhetoric devices. Alright, so here we go. We're in the body of this speech. So I wrote, the first thing I wanted to communicate to my brother is some of the things that he's experienced. Although you have been excluded at school, excluded by your host family, and excluded by those you thought were your friends, your smile was like a determined lion, convinced that you would win them over. This is an example of a simile because I talked about what his smile was like. I did not say his smile was, but I said his smile was like a determined lion. So this is an example of a simile. Then going down to the second part, I said, although you did not understand almost anything, your persevering senses kept trying to make meaning out of gibberish, sense out of a foreign world, delicious out of a mystery dish, and something tangible out of what you could not yet grasp. So here I'm talking about his senses, like his sense of smell, hearing, touch, taste, and kind of pretending that they are something that can do things, which is what people do. So that's an example of personification, giving things that are lifelike to something that is not really alive. Here it says, yet have you once bought yourself an early ticket home? Have you once let yourself lie in self-pity in your room? Well, if you knew my brother, the obvious answer is no. Because the answer is obvious, the fact that I'm asking it as a question is really just to make a point. So it is a rhetorical question. Lastly, I wrote, nope, you have been an overcomer, and for that I admire you even more than I ever did before. So that's how I'm going to end my speech. And I did not have to have a rhetorical device here, because this one was optional. But I did have rhetorical devices at the others. Once you have done that, I want you to see in day 4, you're going to have to make all of this into a video using Adobe Acrobat. You will be graded using the following rubric. So I've given you the rubric to see exactly how I'm going to give you a grade. This is helpful to you because it helps you know how you can do well on this assignment. So you're going to go into Adobe Acrobat just as you have in class. You're going to use some simple pictures, and with those pictures in the background, you're going to record your voice reading your speech out loud. When I receive your speech, I'm going to be listening and looking for these pieces. I will also use your packet and look back to make sure that everything is there and that you aren't missing anything. The hope is that even if you received credit for some assignments, anything I tell you that you need to fix, that it will be fixed in order to get a good grade on all of these pieces, especially these first 2. Okay, so purpose. Let's just look at the 4s. This is what I want all of you to aim for because I think we can have many, many 4s in this class. The purpose is that student sticks closely to the purpose decided upon on day 1. So saying that you will get a 4 if you stick closely to the purpose that you did on day 1. I don't want to see you changing halfway through your speech. I want there to be one very clear purpose. Here you're going to see the evidence. Students use good argument and evidence to support what he/she says so that it is believable to the audience. So if you do a good job connecting your purpose with all of the different pieces you say to show how the purpose is true and makes people believe what you're saying, that will get you a 4. Here is a pretty simple one. If you use good images and you speak clearly, you will get a 4. Over here, you can see using the rhetoric devices will also get you a 4. I need to see at least 5 or 6. Remember, I have 6 places where there was not optional. If you correctly use it in at least 5 of those 6 places, you will get a 4 in this category also. Alright, best wishes to you. I know you all can do very well on this. Make sure that you ask me if you have any questions.